Okay, so now we're going to do some screenshots of the property, and I'm going to show you how to find those and where to put them after you find them, and the whole process. So, as you just saw, we are in the commercial catalog, and we're currently looking at this property. I just did a prior video on how to add comps, so we added comps in, and now we're going to do the uh, a quick like property map uh, capture, and we're going to add those into here. So, and we're doing all this because it's helpful for me to review the property to determine if we want to move forward with the deal and purchase the property. And it's also, we're going to use the same information again. So get a double, two birds with one stone. Um, we're going to use it when we try to market the property to sell it. So we want to make sure that this information looks good when we put it together. So let's go over how to do that. Okay, so first um, we have a property that we're going to do it for, and we're going to need the property's APN. So you can just search in your browser for APN, not M, but N as a number. So here's the APN, and we need to know the county that the property is located in. And there are a number of sources to find this information. So we're going to go to Parcel Fact. We're going to go, Parcel Fact works anywhere in the world, so you don't need a VPN. You can also go to My First AM. My First AM only works if you're in the US, so you'll need a VPN if you're outside of the US. And we can also go to just Google and search for the county. So this is in Kendall County, Texas. Make sure you type the county and state. Kendall County, Texas. You don't need to write state for Texas state. And then usually I search for GIS, which means I think it's Geographic Information System. Sometimes it'll show up as like a CAD thing. Sometimes you can just search for the county and then search property search or property maps, and all of those will help you find it. Now, the county maps have sometimes they have extra layers of information that are super helpful. And sometimes they don't have any information. So online maps, all right. And every county is different. So you just kind of have to figure this out as you go. General county map, proposed dry creek flood study, watershed, floodplain study, voting precinct, school district, ISD. So maybe the general county map, we need the property lines. Okay, while that's going, I'm going to go to Parcel Fact. And here in Parcel Fact, we're going to log in. We're already logged in here. So in First American, you'll go to Property Search, Property Reports. Log in. And we're going to go to the state, which is Texas, TX. And the county is Kendall, so I'm going to type it in because Texas has a lot of counties. And it'll take a long time to scroll. And you can search by the owner name. Sometimes the APNs don't work or there's an issue with that. And owner name is usually a pretty easy way to search. I'm going to try the APN for now. And sometimes if the APN doesn't work, you can also use, oops, nope, that's not what I want. You can also use the alternate APN. Okay, Kendall. Let's see if this one found it. All right, so this one found the property, and I can zoom in. It doesn't look right because it has a dot and a spot, but there are no borders around it. And sometimes my first am just doesn't have the borders of the properties, or it'll put like, if it doesn't know where the property is, it'll just put a whole bunch of properties on the same parcel. So it'll just say like any property that they can't find is in one spot on the map, which is problematic because you'll be looking at the wrong thing, the wrong parcel. So in this case, I know this property, I know this is the right location, but they don't have any boundaries for us to understand where the property is. I mean, you can kind of see, maybe depending on your resolution, there's like a fence line right here. So you can kind of tell that there's a fence that runs like this, but that's not good enough. I mean, you need to know the lines. So we'll go try parcel facts. So this is in Kendall, County, Texas, and the APN. We'll paste that in. We'll search. As you can tell, parcel fact is kind of slow, but they found it and they have the outline for it. So that's perfect. So basically, we just want to make this full screen and maybe zoom in so it's a little bit bigger on the picture. And we want to get a screenshot of this. So you can hit print screen, or if you can't do print screen, I guess you can do it in this view and use the snipping tool if you're on Windows. I know Macs have something similar. So if we use the snipping tool like this, actually, let's make it ugly. So we'll get the whole thing in here. Okay. And if we scroll down, there's a topographical map, and then there are a few other maps, and you can just download these. But they usually download as a pretty small size. So if I open this, so that's it. That's how big this map is. And it's okay. It's not terrible, but I prefer something bigger. So if we're using the snipping tool, we'll have to save this. So I'll just save it in the junk folder. I don't know where. You can save it anywhere on your computer, but we'll save it there. And then with this, save image as, and we'll do the same spot. And then I don't know. You don't need to save all of them. And then here are all the GPS coordinates. That's a ton of coordinates. Holy cow. So might make sense to just like paste one of these in to our product. So got GPS coordinates are, oh, here we go. So there's one set of GPS coordinates. And that'll just help me to locate the property. If there were fewer, I would have you paste in the coordinates for the different boundaries, but this is a lot. Maybe I should make a text box for all those, but for now, eh. Okay, and that's not the point of this task. This task is to get maps. So let's see, we have here, okay, so this is the Kendall County map system, and I kind of have to know where the property is unless there's a search function. All right, so I just searched for the GPS coordinates and pulled up the property. it's in this blue area, which I don't know what that means. But let's see. Sometimes they have like a legend. Yeah, that's what we want. City, county. Okay, so the roads are pink, which means they're privately maintained. And oh, I think this is in, oh, it's in a subdivision. Okay, that's what the light blue means. But it doesn't look like they show parcels. They don't have the parcel for this. They don't have the outline for it. Oh, here we go. Parcels. Ta-da. All right. So we've got the parcel outline here. And if we show it with the legend, I wonder if we can select it. Perfect. Okay, so we don't want anything that shows the prior owner's names. That'll just confuse people. And so we can just do a screenshot of this, or we can capture it. And if we get a county map, it's okay to get the legend and some ugly stuff and to grab the county name because then people know it's like an official map. So we're going to go save as county map. All right. So now that we've got those, we kind of know where the property is from GPS coordinates. We can also really quickly do wetlands and floodplain. Wetlands mapper. I accept. You might have to be in the US to use these. I'm not certain that they work from abroad. So with wetlands, you just find location and you paste in those GPS coordinates. Let's grab those from ParcelFact. Sometimes ParcelFact won't have the location and other sources will, like My First American will have it. And that's fine. I mean, you can just use My First American. And if you want to find GPS coordinates of something, I don't think you can find them here. I mean, there are also usually GPS coordinates if they're available. Oops, I clicked out of it. Oh, okay. There are also usually GPS coordinates available in our product information. If you scroll way down here, there'll be like a latitude and a longitude. Yeah, latitude, and then for some reason longitude is somewhere else. Longitude way down here. I don't know why they do that, but I guess it's alphabetical, so I do know. So that's one way you can find it. Sometimes it won't even be there or it'll be wrong, but usually ParcelFact will have the property. If it doesn't, you can find it in My First Am and then just zoom out to figure out about where it is in reference to other things. And then you can zoom in to find it on these by typing in the name of a nearby city and scrolling over to it. But since we have the coordinates, that makes it a lot easier. We can just search. Come on. Maybe these are too long. Nope, didn't like that. So I'll show you how. Oh yeah, Texas. Okay, so this is a nearby city, Candalia, and I'm going to zoom out a bit. You're going to see this. Okay, so it's like straight north of Candalia. All right. And the highway splits right here, it looks like, and you can switch between streets to kind of tell what's going on. So yeah, the highway splits, and it's kind of in between them right here, and it's on Headwaters Road. Oh, Headwaters Ranch Road. There it is. So the property's right here. So I would take a screenshot of this. So the property's right there. Maybe zoom in a bit so you can see the property a little better. And this way people know that there's no flood zone. Oops, save as. Now, wetlands. And this as. Okay, so I've got a few maps now. Wetlands and FEMA are important ones to have. And I guess we'll also get another one, which is the what's it called? Disaster. Oh well, there's another one that gets like super fun sites, and I guess I'll do that in another video. Or let's see. I think I can find it here. I have a link to it somewhere. All right. While that's loading, it's pretty slow where I am here. Okay. Let's see if this will work with coordinates. Hopefully. Yeah. All right. I already know there's going to be nothing out here because no one lives out here or anything. But so what you want to do in this one is chemical. Oh shoot! I have another video that goes over this program. Oh yeah. Okay. So you want to search EnviroFacts by program. And this will show if there's been any pollution in the area that's been recorded by the Environmental Protection Agency. And you can zoom out a bit. I mean, there's nothing for miles. This is a pretty safe area. So we can copy this and say, there are no hazards nearby. Okay, so I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close this guy. I don't think there are any other. Oh yeah, we might also want to do like slopes and stuff like that. But for the initial review, all we need are wetlands, floods, and the like map of the property with an outline if we can find that. So this kind of a thing. We don't need any of the other stuff. So just those three maps, just floods, wetlands, and the outline of the property. So what we'll do is we will find that folder, and the reason we edit everything in Pixlr is because one, it gives us a chance to like add anything or write anything on the picture. Two, it allows us to shrink the file size down so that the pictures load faster for people. So I'm just going to crop it like this and maybe like that, so it's not a super weird shape. And as you can tell, this is a pretty small picture. Maybe I'll make it taller. So it doesn't have any of the other stuff on it. And then I'm going to click Save. And medium usually is fine. And we'll name this, what's the property name? The property name is TX Kendall 1A. Download that. Oh, I probably want to call it outline. All right, so that's the first one. And then we'll do a new one. So to do a new file, you just click on that menu bar that I did, and then you can drag and drop a new picture in. So flood zone, create new. Whoa, I did something really weird. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Okay, so, and if you're feeling really brave, you can try drawing an outline roughly where the property is. I don't really know well enough, but I'm going to say something like this. It's like right here. There we go. I'm going to have to hold it down. Yeah. And if you don't like it, you can always just undo. So I think it probably makes sense to use a different color so people know that it's like the property outline. Because the white just doesn't show up very well on this specific map. Doesn't stick out. So there we go. And then you can do something like draw an arrow to it and then say add text. And we want a font that's Arial font. And we're going to want to shrink this down because it's way too big. And then we can make this the same red color and drop it right there. I like it better. Well, oh well, let's do that. And save. Medium. Wow, it's still 200 kilobytes. But so 200 kilobytes is the file size. If we were to save it just straight from doing a PNG grab with a snipping tool, it would end up being more like 2 megabytes, so about 10 times larger. So this is definitely much better. Okay, so we want to do the property name and then yeah, flood zone map. Download. Close that. Okay, so we have one more to do, and that is the wetlands map. All right, and we'll do the same thing. We'll draw a quick border around the property. I'll use red again since yeah, something like here-ish. I don't know why it picks the worst fonts I've ever seen, but and then we'll shrink this down to a more reasonable size. That's kind of hard to read. Maybe I'll make it yellow. No. All right, let's do that. Okay, so you don't have to do this step. I just think it can be helpful, and then save. If it's going to take you a lot of time to do that, then don't worry about it. And then we're going to name this TX. Yeah, I think for the wetlands thing, it might be good for people to see that you got it from the website to have all this on it. It might be better if the legend were open, because then they could see what different things were. You can just hide the map layers. This way they see it's from the National Wetlands Inventory, so it's an authoritative source, I guess. And yeah, just like with the county, getting the county name on there helps. But for some of these, like for this FEMA one, you're just not going to be able to fit in this with the map. I mean, that it doesn't, you just take this screenshot. Um, and then, crop things as makes sense to you. And what we want to do is drop all those pictures in this first section where it says pictures. And so that one, oh, no, cancel. I put it in the wrong place. That was silly. Pictures and outline. And there we go. So now we have the first three pictures. So I can pull this up and look at it pretty quickly. And I can look at the comps that you found. And I can say whether or not we should move forward with this deal. And then in later steps, we'll add more pictures like the county map. And I mean, you can add the county map in the stage too if you wanted to be a little extra. But the county map, the EPA map, which showed the hazardous substances, and you could show extra maps, and then also doing Google Maps for the location. So you can get some pretty cool shots using Google Maps if we paste in the coordinates and put it in map view. Okay, and then zoom out a little bit. And what you would do is you would click okay, so 3D is on. You click Control and you drag the mouse for full 3D. So basically, you can get cool 3D views by going like this, and then you can get like a screenshot of the 3D view. And you can turn it different directions. And so you want to get a shot going north, west, south. I guess I was looking east earlier, and this would be west. And so people can get a good feel for what the terrain is like in each direction. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. I know this was long, but we added the maps in, and we're going to want to put the most important ones first. You can rearrange them. And when we actually have this product where we start working on marketing the product, we'll want to have the very best pictures in the front of the lineup first, and then less attractive pictures toward the back. So all of these are kind of less attractive because they're screenshots. But so we apply, and then I'll save it with this window open if we still wanted to work on stuff in here. And then we can click save if we just want to close out and move on to the next task. Also, remember, once you complete a task, to complete it so you don't keep tracking time on it. And yep, that's it for this task.